Okay, so we have students
Santa
in
Flora
Santa
Primary School
Flora
has
Primary
35
School.
desks.
So they have 35 desks, as you're saying. Yeah. They say each desk can seat 2 students. So not 3, no 4, but 2, right? And no one by itself. 2. How many more similar desks are needed in order to seat all the students from standards 1 to 5? So we need to figure out how many we have in total, right? So how are we going to figure out how many
40,
students?
36, 38, 42, 40.
Right. What are we going to do with these numbers?
I'm gonna add them all.
Very good. So let's add them all together. And what should we get? So add all the numbers in the ones column for me. What's 8 plus 2? Where you going? 8 plus 2 is? Right, so 8 plus 2 is 10 plus 6 is 16. Good. Write that down, put the 6. Next, we're going to add all the digits in the tens column. So we have 4, 3, 3, 4, 4, and a 1. Add them all together and then we're done. So, what's 4 plus 4?
204.
That's what you get. Now you see 4 plus 4. 4. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 and 4 is 12. 12 and 6 is 18. Right? Because 3 and 3 is 6. And then 18 and 1 is 19. So I'm actually getting 196 as the total number of students in the school.
Yeah. I think
Right.
I added my one.
Yeah.
My answer was 204. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have 196. Now, here's what we need to do now. Remember, they want to know how many more similar desks are needed to seat all the students from standards 1 to 5. We only have 35 desks so far. So we could do this one of 2 ways, right? So we could take the 196 and divide it by 2. So that way we'll figure out how many desks we need in total. And then we'd have to do something with that number and the 35 to figure out how many more we need. Or we could do 35 by 2 and figure out how many students could sit with the amount of desks we have. And then, alright.
48.
Okay, so you want to divide the 196 by 2. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me do that. So alright, and it's on the side here. So we have 196 divided by 2. 2 can't go into 1. 2, right? So 2 into 19. 2 into 19. So remember, pull up your timetables if you need to while we're doing these questions as practice, but I need you to memorize them timetables by heart. Alright, there we go. 2 into 19 was the closest multiple of 2 to 19.
2, 9, 18.
18, there you go. So, like I said, 9. 9 twos are 18. So 9 by 2 is 18. And if we take away 18 from 19, we remain with 1. We bring down the 6. Now 2 into 16.
8.
Nice. 8. 8 by 2 is 16. So we find the difference. No remainder. So now we know how many desks we need for all 196 students to have a seat. So 196 students require 98 desks in total.
Yes.
Now, how many did they tell us the school has?
2001 to 2005.
How many desks they say they have in the school?
35.
Right,
That's
there you go, 35 desks. And how many we need?
98.
So how we going to figure out how much more we need now? What we're going to do to figure out how many more desks we need to get? Because 98 is plenty and we only have 35. So what are we doing? How are we going to figure out how many desks we need to be able to seat everybody?
Divide it.
Why I want to divide? We divide already. What dividing on? Think again. So I have a question now. Is the 35 desks the school has more desks than we need or less desks than we need?
Less.
So if it's less, right, then it means that we need some more desks, right? And we need some more? Yeah. So how are we going to figure out the number of desks we need to get?
Add.
Now if you add, what you will do, if you add it, that means you're saying that you have 35 and you're getting a 98 additional. So it shouldn't be that we add. What should we do instead? Instead of adding, what we should do? Alright, so better scenario. Think about this. You want to buy a game, right? You want to buy a game. And you only have $35, but the game costing $98. So you only have $35, right? You only have $35 and you want to buy the game and it's $98. You go and you ask your mommy. You're telling mommy, well, you need more money to buy the game, right? And she asks you, well, how much more money you need? So how you going to answer her and tell her how much more money you need? You going to add the 35 and the 98 and tell she that's how much you need? Unless you're trying to play smart and pocket your $35 and keep it. But what you should actually do,
Like,
just now break up a little bit, say it back.
so for $98.
You're going to ask for $98 more, so you're going to pocket your $35. That's what you're going to do. So tell me, think about it properly, right? You go on by the store, you ask the store attendant, he tell you the game is $98 and you give him $25. What will he tell you to do? He'll tell you he giving you the game for the $35?
Not enough.
It's not enough. That's right, it's not enough. So how are you going to figure out how much more you need to get so you can get a game?
$35 more.
Now, if you only get, so think about it for a minute. You have $35, you get 35 more. Is that equal to 98? So add 35 and 35 for me, is that 98?
Nah, that's 55.
No, that's only 70. 35 and 35 is only 70. So I want you to think about it a little bit. Right into the side here, we have to do something to figure out what we need. Right? So here's what I want you to think about. What's the difference between 98 and 35? Because if you can figure out what's the difference between 98 and 35, you're going to get your answer. Right? So what's the difference between 98 and 35?
I don't know.
What does the difference mean? What operation we should think about?
Subtract.
Right. So why don't you subtract 98 and 35? Because remember, like I keep emphasizing, the 35 is not enough. The 35 is less than what we need. So if we need more, in order for us to figure out the more we need, we have to find the difference between these two numbers. So I want you to find a difference for me. Take away 35 from 98. And what would you get?
3.
Alright, 8 take away 5 is 3. Good. And now the digits in the tens position, what would we get?
6.
Good. So how many more desks do we need so that everybody could sit?
62.
Right, there we go. So we're going to put that on our answer line, right? 63 desks. Right? So you see, for the most part, you were doing this question on your own, which is quite well. And I find that good to see because you told me to find the sum of all, and then you told me about doing the division, right? But this last piece here is the piece I catch you a little bit, right? But you did pretty well.